Hi everyone, my name is Scott and I'm a runner. Welcome to the Run Scotty Run YouTube channel. In this video I just wanted to run through the basics of the electronics that I use when I'm running, just to make keep track of what I'm doing and also make my runs a bit more enjoyable and also safer. So I'm just going to run through those briefly, sort of starting at the top. The running headphones, I guess I'd call them. I use the Aftershokz Aeropex. They fit over top of your ear, and the little piece goes around. So they're bone conduction. So this piece just rests sort of on the bone here in front of your ears. So the thing that I like about these, because there's nothing actually right in my ear, as long as I don't have, Led Zeppelin cranked to 2 decibels below the pain threshold while I'm running, I have a much better sense of what's going on around me, much better situational awareness. If somebody's coming up behind me, running or on a bicycle, or I can just hear things a lot better. And I've been wearing these now for, I think, about a year, at least, maybe a year and a half longer. And every time I wear them almost, I'm just blown away by the quality of the sound, even though it's not in my ear, the quality of the sound. Now, I went with the, I have some notes here, so please excuse me if I'm looking down. I went with the Aeropex, which is, it's their most expensive model. I just looked on their website and on Amazon Canada, they're about 210 bucks for a pair. The main reason I went with the Aeropex at the time was that they were rated for 8 hours of battery life. And, I knew as I was getting up into longer runs and doing marathons and things like that, I needed plenty of battery life because, it takes me a while to run a marathon, 6 to 6.5 hours right now, at least in the virtual marathons. So I can tell you from experience that when I did my virtual marathon in the spring, it was 6.5 hours. And the battery ran strong the whole time. Never had any problems, because for me, I didn't want to, save some money and then, be out on a long run. And right when I sort of needed that music in the last half hour to an hour, my headphones died. So that's why I went with the Aeropex. Now, I think that when I bought mine, actually, I got like 10 or 15% off of them. So if I'm on Instagram, anyway, if you're on Instagram, I would follow Aftershokz because they quite often have promo codes. And also there's several ambassadors that I think I might have used a code from an ambassador, Aftershokz ambassador on Instagram. I apologize for not being able to remember their account name, but I think I was able to save myself 10 to 15%. So if you shop around, you can probably get them a little bit less than 210 bucks, but these are definitely well worth it for me. You can also get, depending on how far you run or what you want to use them for, how long you'll need them for, you can get much cheaper models. I think they come, these ones, when I looked on their website, they come in 2 sizes, mini and standard. So depending on the size of your head. I have a very big cranium. I'm not ashamed to say. So I have the standard and they fit me just fine. I think when I measured, when I did my hat sunglasses video, my noggin around here is like 60 centimeters. So these work really, really well. And this back piece, it doesn't really bother me. Maybe if you had longer hair, it might bother you. So there's the Aftershokz Aeropex. I was just thinking, actually, this is kind of a bit of a side note, but I've been running quite a long time, and when I first started running 40 plus years ago, I don't think there was any such thing really as personal music to listen to while you ran. And then I remember, everybody was just like blown away when the Sony Walkman came out and we could run, I think, with cassette tapes. I had a Walkman. I think I went to the Discman, and then through a variation of several different MP3 type players. So if you're, depending on your age group, I'd be interested. Please comment down below if you remember what the first mobile music that you carried when you ran was. Mine, I think, was the Sony Walkman, the cassette one, the yellow one. It was quite heavy, took a couple of AA batteries, and it had the wire headphones. But yeah, I mean, it worked. But yeah, if you remember the first music system you used, and I should say these are Bluetooth. You do have on the side here this little button. You know, if somebody is talking to you, you can just press it once, and it pauses the music, and then you can press it again when you're ready to go, and the music resumes. Also, you can use this to advance your song. So if you're not, the song that you're listening to is not giving you the boost that you want, you press it twice, and it'll advance to the next song. And then it has the volume, the power button to turn it on. You hold the power button down, and it'll say, "Welcome to Aftershokz connected." And then, you know, when you shut it off, it'll tell you power off. And then it has the up and down volume, which I use quite a bit, because certain areas where I run, there's more traffic and it's hard to hear the music. So anyway, so that's those. Okay, for my running watch, I use, this is the Garmin 235 with the heart rate monitor. So I think I picked this up, I've had this for about 4 or 5 years. I picked it up for, I was actually on sale then, and I think it was $320 or something like that from the Running Room in Canada. I went on their website and they show it as being there, but they don't have a price. So I don't know if they sell it anymore. On Amazon Canada, I saw one for $289 with the heart rate monitor. Now, I know that these heart rate monitors are you know, they're notoriously inaccurate, but I find it just a good guideline. The other thing is, I'm like right about here on my chest, I'm about I'm 48 inches. You know, so I find chest straps sometimes for me can be really uncomfortable, or they can be too snug. So if you know, actually, if you have any input of any chest straps that are really quite expandable, say up to and past 48 inches, you know, that would be more comfortable and are compatible with a Garmin watch, please, please leave a comment down below. I would really appreciate that. This watch, probably, again, when I bought this watch, one of the main reasons I bought it was it was rated to have, I think, 8 hours of battery life, which I knew I would need. And again, just like my Aftershokz, you know, I've done a 6.5 hour long run, and it had plenty of battery life. Now, since I bought this, there's all kinds of other newer watches, both by Garmin and Coros, which have, you know, great battery life. And probably, if and when that one ever dies, I'll probably go with something like Forerunner 55. And at this point, I just wanted to give a shout out to a fellow running YouTuber, Running with Jane. She does just some of probably the best watch reviews for runners specifically that I've ever watched. So I'm going to link Jane's YouTube channel down below, and also specifically her playlist where she does her watch reviews. So she's done, the reason that I say that she's done a video on the Forerunner 55, which is more of a watch. You know, if you, I think she mentioned it's around $200, which would be in American dollars, but still quite a bit cheaper. And then the Coros 2, and she's also done a head-to-head comparison of those. So yeah, shout out to Jane, Running with Jane. Please check out her channel and consider subscribing. I think she's getting closer and closer to that magic 1,000 subscribers as well. So please go check that out if you're looking for really good reviews on some watches that are not overly expensive. Okay, for my phone, obviously I'm talking to you, talking to my phone right now. I just have a Samsung Galaxy A51, I think it is. I use my phone primarily. I carry it with me on all my runs, primarily for music, but also for safety. You know, having that backup if I need to, you know, somebody needs to get a hold of me, or I need to get a hold of somebody because something's happened to me out on my run. I like having that security. So yeah. Now on my phone, I guess this is also part of the electronics, I guess, if you want, specifically for running. I have, I guess, 3 apps. Well, Spotify is what I use for my music. But I mean, I listen to that all the time, but that's what I use. I really like Spotify. I've been using it for several years now. I like the fact that I can, it's very easy to change up my playlist if I get bored of the music that I'm listening to. I also use Garmin Connect, which is the app that connects to my Garmin Forerunner 235, and also Strava. So, my watch will download to Garmin Connect. Now, sometimes I actually, when I come back from my run, I actually have to go, it wouldn't, 95% of the time it will actually automatically upgrade. And then sometimes I have to actually press the Garmin Connect app on my phone, and then it uploads, and then it also uploads at the same time to Strava, because I think I have Strava linked to Garmin Connect. I'm actually a paid member of Strava. I've at first, for probably the first year or so, I was, I just used it. I was a free member. I didn't pay for it. I do actually kind of like the extra, I don't look at all of the data and all of the metrics and everything all the time, but I do like to go and look at that, often enough that for me it's worthwhile paying the membership. But I think, even if you just decide you want to stay as a free member, you're still going to get plenty of what you might need, the basics anyway. And it's a great place, I find, to keep track of my runs, keep track of the mileage I have on my shoes, as I've mentioned in another video. But it also can be, it's kind of social media for athletes, I guess. It can also be a bit of a trap. Fortunately, I don't, most of the people that I follow, I don't necessarily compare myself to them. I like to see what they're doing, and I like to give them kudos or comments, to help support them, but I don't worry too much about what other folks are doing. But okay, and one of the last bits of electronics I have, I don't run a lot at night, but often enough that I have a headlamp. So the one that I use is called a Petzl Bindi. It's super lightweight. It comes with, I'm pretty sure it came with this USB. It's a mini USB plug anyway. And I just plug it into the computer and it charges. So it's super lightweight. And even though this is right here, even when this is against my head, this is kind of a hard plastic, it's actually still pretty comfortable. So it just goes around my head, and you can adjust that. And it has, I'm not going to look right at it has 3 different light levels. That's the highest right there. I mean, that is really super bright. Like I've run in unlit areas with trees and overcast and everything like that, and it gives plenty of light forward so that I can see where I'm going. And at the highest, if you're doing a lot of trail running or whatever, it's probably not the one for you, because it doesn't, I think at the highest intensity setting, I think the battery might last me an hour and a half. But normally when I run at night, I'm not running for a whole long time. It's maybe if I'm just doing I couldn't get my run in during the day, and I just need to get out and decompress, get a few miles in. The one thing I do also like about it is it has a gentle, just a very subtle sort of lock where it clicks, so that when you have it on your head, hopefully I can show it here. So if this was your head, it's actually sort of angled nicely down, and then it doesn't, it's not bouncing around. So that's the Petzl Bindi. I got this one from Amazon Canada. Currently they're listed for $83 Canadian. Now I do remember when I ordered mine, it wasn't, I'm an Amazon Prime member, and it didn't qualify for Amazon Prime, so I had to pay for the shipping, and I think mine might have come from France, or it came from Europe somewhere. So I also had to pay some duty and taxes. So the price actually was about 105, 110. So yeah, if you're looking for something that's super lightweight, I mean, you can, for a night light, depending on what you can buy headlamps even at the hardware store for a lot less money, but most of those require like maybe some AAA or AA batteries. The convenient thing about this is that I can run and I just come back and plug it into the USB, and it actually recharges really quickly. I think within, I want to say close to 2 hours, it'll go from dead to full on. So, okay. So that's pretty much, I guess, the thick and thin of the electronics that I run with. Again, going back to the Garmin, if you do know of a chest strap or an expandable chest strap that would comfortably fit a 48-inch chest, I would be more than grateful if you wanted to leave some comments about that down below, or again, any comments on any of your electronics. Again, let me know, that we're in this, I know I sound like a real old dinosaur, but this Bluetooth era of music just blows me away compared to where, the first music, the old Sony Walkman with a cassette that I carried on my runs years and years ago. So if you remember, I'd be interested to know what your first music setup was for running. So thanks very much for taking the time out to watch. I do want to let you know that probably my next 3 to 4 videos, I'm not sure how long it's going to take, but about 15 years ago, I guess, I don't know if I was going through a bit of a midlife crisis, or I couldn't afford a Harley, or what the deal was, but I ran 8 marathons, like a marathon a month for 8 consecutive months. And it's definitely one of the most challenging but also rewarding things I've ever done in my life. So I thought I would do a series on those. I don't want to just sit down and ramble on forever and ever. So I'm going to break it down. Probably I'm thinking into 4 videos. Start off maybe with an introduction to why I decided to take on this challenge, sort of the planning and logistics. And then, maybe do a video on the first 4 marathons, another video on the last 4 marathons, and then wrap up with kind of the lessons that I learned from the whole experience. So anyway, please, if you're subscribed or you're not, consider subscribing and stay tuned for that. I hope it'll be an interesting little series of 8 marathons in 8 months, as I struggled with maybe an early midlife crisis. So again, thanks very much for watching. Remember, no matter how old you are, how big you are, what your shape, what your size, how far you run or how fast you run, if you run, you are a runner. I wish you all the best in your future running adventures, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you and take care.